Hello everyone, my name is Nikki, and if you're a regular viewer of the TVI channel, you will know me as Mrs. TVI. I don't have a car, but I do have a GoPro and an interest in history, architecture, but more specifically, cemeteries. It's time to see where I am and what I'm getting up to in my corner of the TVI channel today. Hi everyone, Mrs. TVI here with you know who. Hello! We are today on our mega trip, and for this particular episode of Mrs. TVI, I'm not going to be in a church or a graveyard. I might come across one, but I am going to have a look with this guy,
me,
at this town and this place. This is the River Thames. On this side is the town of Eton, and on this side, Windsor. So one of the first things that I've noticed here is a building that actually brings in something of London, and this is the part of the Sir Christopher Wren Hotel and Spa. This is one part of it, and it obviously goes over the road in this building here as well. And let's head up towards the centre of town, as it were. And this is one for Andy, being a Lincolnshire boy and all. We have here Gainsborough House. What do you think of this, Andy?
It's a bit of good old G-town here in Berkshire.
A little slice of home?
Yeah.
Gainsborough House. So in a town named Windsor, you're going to get a lot of royal references. Of course, Windsor being the surname of the monarch where one is used, and of the royal family, indeed, where a surname is used. So we're going to find a lot of royal references here. I mean, there's already a Royal Windsor pub, but this is the first thing that I've seen which definitely has a royal reference. So this is the King George V Memorial Fountain, designed by Edwin Lutyens, and it is a sort of fountains and lots of bits on it which honour the king. At the back there it says George V, first sovereign of the House of Windsor. You can't see it, but it is literally just on the wall here behind the fountain. And obviously there's that nice blue plaque there. There's another one just over here. Let's take a look at this one. Have a look and see what this blue plaque's for. Right, Windsor Martyrs. Beyond this site, the following were martyred for their faith: Henry Filmer, Anthony Pearson, Robert Testwood, burnt at the stake 28th of July 1543. Well, I'm glad we don't carry on like that these days, aren't you?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Definitely. Right, this fountain perhaps could do with a bit of a clean, I have to say. But then again, it is winter. But this is like a crossroads here. And as you can see, lots of things picking up royal names. You've got the Castle Kebab, Bell and the Dragon pub there, and then further around the corner, that is where the Royal Windsor pub is. So,
which way are we going, Nikki?
I don't know. Let's go and see what we can see. So just here up on the top of the hill, you can see the round tower and part of the Windsor Castle buildings. And as mentioned before, there is the Royal Windsor pub, and it's bang opposite Windsor and Eton Riverside train station. So just as Eton has schools, so do Windsor. This is St George's School, Windsor Castle in the old bank house, and you can see there as a typical sort of doorway for a bank building. Now, more views of the castle here.
There's a statue on the left here.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at that, but this town has also got quite a bit in different cuisines. You've got some Lebanese here. It's been a while since we've had Lebanese food.
A long time.
Right, let's take a look at this statue and see who we've got here. Who have we got?
Christian Victor.
Christian Victor, Captain Brevet, Major King's Royal Rifle Corps, eldest son of Prince and Princess Christian of Schleswig-Holstein, grandson of Queen Victoria. Ah, let's have a look at him. At the top of this, at the very top there, it says, "My duty is to my country," which is rather nice.
It's a Georgian postbox.
Yeah. George the Fifth.
Fifth, yes.
Yeah, George the Fifth in wall recessed post box. And then we've got a lodge here, like probably a lower, some kind of lower ward lodge. But look at the above the door there. We've got Queen Victoria's cipher VR. Very nice. I'm not looking at the camera very much because I'm just literally looking around me. There's so much to see in terms of beautiful architecture, and there's just always something to look at no matter where you go. I mean, just sort of turning around here as we're walking up by the castle, you've got a Tudor building, medieval. You've got, look at that theatre. You've got some gorgeous stuff, and literally right in a row. Just amazing. England at its finest. So what we've also got here is opposings. You know, what did I call it? Opposites.
Opposites? Polar opposites?
Excuse me. You've got a Wetherspoons and a McDonald's. And then right across the road, you've got a massive tower.
Nikki was just saying to me a moment or two earlier that McDonald's there is probably the one that Princess Diana used to bring William and Harry to.
I would imagine so, because they were raised on McDonald's just like us.
I mean, imagine that, having a McDonald's straight opposite your house, or in this case, castle. Directly opposite Windsor Castle here, there's a beautiful mural, tiled mural, prospect of Windsor Castle based upon the engraving by Wenceslaus Holler, AD 1663. And here you can basically see Windsor Castle in pictorial form.
I suppose we were looking through to see St George's Chapel.
Yep.
And then when we went to the upper ward.
Yeah. This is, just so you know where this is, it's here. It's there, and we're looking across here at the Chancellor's Tower, which is that tower on the corner there. But yeah, that's quite a nice find, that.
This is the actual Windsor station that served the castle and served the monarchy. So if you
would
turn
make
around,
sense because it's nearer.
Yeah. We didn't know this was here until
So this
now.
is Windsor and Eton Central, and if we go up here, we should find some trains, in theory, or at least railway lines if there aren't any trains in the station. It's also a massive shopping arcade, and even this is quite impressive. Look at some of the architecture up here.
Victorian.
Victorian, absolutely. Oh, look at this. It's a train.
Here's your station.
There's the station there, the current station. You can see a railway line there. What is this? Is this the Royal Train, Nikki, or part of what was the Royal Train? Oh, it's called the Queen.
It's called the Queen.
Ah, right. So we've got a bit of...
So it's a replica.
Okay. Of the GWR Achilles Class 422 locomotive number 3041, built in 1894 and originally named Emlyn after Lord Emlyn, chairman of the Great Western Railway Company.
Right, repainted in 1897 in GWR livery, the great locomotive, 57 feet long, was named the Queen, especially to pull 6 new carriages of the Royal Train.
So I was right. It is part of the Royal Train, or a replica of part of the Royal Train. Amazing.
So as we come around, look at these for castle walls. You know, the world's largest occupied castle in continuous use. It's got some big walls. Now, just beyond these walls here is St George's Chapel, but unfortunately we're not going to make it in there today. But I tell you, you know, Windsor as a town is definitely making the most of the royal connections. The Wetherspoons is called the King and Castle, and then here you've got the Duchess of Cambridge. Definitely making the most of it, isn't it?
So who's buried in St George's Chapel, Nikki?
Oh, loads of people.
Obviously,
loads of people.
Obviously the Queen,
Yeah.
who's just departed us.
Yeah, George V and Queen Mary, I think, are in there too.
Yeah.
Princess Margaret's in there, Queen Mother. Plenty of people in there.
There was
Bit full.
There was a vault in there, wasn't there, that was discovered a while back, and they found the body of Charles II and Henry VIII in there, didn't they? Didn't
was
even
it
know they
Henry?
were there.
Was it Henry VIII or was it Henry VII?
No, it was Henry VIII.
Yeah.
It was Henry VIII. They didn't know he was there, and it was quite a discovery. There's a video out there, isn't there, about that?
There certainly is.
So yeah, it's worth
Let's see if we
watching.
can link it.
Okay, so we've seen one statue already. There's another one coming up here on Castle Hill. And I'm pretty sure, considering the amount of times we've talked about her, you can probably recognise who that is. It's Queen Victoria. Check this out. Literally just the other side of Castle Hill, on the edge of Queen Charlotte Street, there's the Market Cross House, 1718, and look how it's leaning.
But just come underneath sort of the canopy here. I'm at Windsor Guildhall, and this is the place where Prince Charles, who is now obviously King Charles III, married Camilla Parker Bowles, or the Queen Consort as she is now. So we're at the Guildhall here, and as you can see, it's like a little piazza here, and we've got some seating and some stocks there. And then there's something there in the middle. Can you have a look and see what that is for me, Andy?
What we're looking at?
That round thing in the middle, the cream coloured thing. And they've got a few plaques on the wall. This one says that Guildhall, after its renovation, was reopened by Her Royal Highness the Princess Elizabeth on the 15th of May 1951, which was of course to become our Queen. And then again, this Guildhall, after its renovation, was reopened by His Royal Highness the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh on the 1st of April 1986. What have you found, Andy?
It's a distance dial, and as you can see, it was built to commemorate the coronation of Queen Elizabeth II, and it was unveiled by Arthur J. Room, Mayor of Windsor, Ontario, because remember there is a Windsor in Canada.
Cool. So this gives you all kinds of places like Rome, 929 miles away. Dublin is 286. Santiago in Chile, 7,300 miles. That's going to be a long walk.
Hey, speaking of long walk, we're in the right place for that.
Yeah, you fancy doing a long walk to Santiago, or do you just fancy going up the hill to the castle?
I think, to be fair, I think it's easier just to go to the castle.
Let's go to the castle, but first of all, let's go across there and get a nice shot of this Guildhall for the lovely people.
Okay.
Right, we can't resist another unusual post office box to the collection. So it looks like it's either hexagonal post box for, is it George or is it Victoria? That's Victoria's cipher.
Victoria?
Yeah, Queen
okay.
Victoria,
Right.
hexagonal post box. Painted in like a khaki green, would you say?
It's like an army green, isn't it?
Yeah. Was that to disguise it during the war, maybe?
Possibly. So Nikki's entrusted me with a shot of the Guildhall, so here we are. Here it is. And we can see the Market Cross House right next to it. And there it is. Brilliant building. If you just pan to your left as well, you can get a good view of the castle. We're going to head up Castle Hill now, past the statue of Queen Victoria, and see what we can see.
Okay, so we're about halfway up Castle Hill, and if you can see that gateway where the car is, just beyond it is St George's Chapel.
Yeah, so sort of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's St George's Chapel. You will have seen that during the Queen's funeral, no doubt, if you watched it.
Yeah. So it's the lower ward.
Yeah.
But the upper ward is up there. Let's go make our way a bit more towards it. So the castle is closed to visitors today, but you know, we can sort of see a little bit of the upper ward here and the round tower there and the walls of the castle. You can see like that's a very much of a more bright colour than that one, so it's obvious you can see which bits have been restored. Now Queen Elizabeth, I don't know if you knew this, Andy.
What's that?
Queen Elizabeth spent a lot of time and money on restoring Windsor Castle, and not necessarily from the public purse. From when she became monarch in 1953,
53, 52, 53.
53. She spent an awful lot of her time and effort in bringing the castle up to a decent and a high standard.
Did a good job.
Preserves it for future generations.
Certainly did a good job.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a little bit of a walk a little bit further along now, because there are a few interesting buildings in the town further round. There may even be a church that we can get into, but look at these security barriers. They put kind of a bit of a blight on it, don't they? Yeah, there's a church and there's another tower and things knocking about, so yeah, let's go and have a look.
I mean, we've seen castles before in quite a few places. We've seen castle mounds as well, but we've never seen anything quite like Windsor Castle before, have we?
Huge.
It's amazing. And you know what? It's not the biggest castle in the world either, is it? When you think about it.
It's big enough. I mean, certainly when you're walking up from the lower ward up the hill, you can sort of certainly get, you know, you can see why castles and fort were, you know, major sort of fortresses and how people fought wars from them, because they were a lot. This is pretty impregnable. Pretty much.
And it's still as impressive today as it probably was years ago, centuries ago.
Sometimes it's just good to come down the back street. Sometimes if you come along the bit that's not the beaten track, you can find some interesting stuff. So we've got here Church Lane and this building which has got a blue plaque on it. Let's go discover it together. Cobble Street. Now, this looks quite an important one. Theodore Randu, 1642 to 1724, bequeathed £500 to erect this building for the Royal Free School, founded 1705. And it looks as though now it's in use as a Masonic hall. So there you go. £500 to build a house in Windsor, Andy, what say you?
You won't get that these days. I wonder what the average house price in Windsor is.
I wouldn't like to think, but I would imagine it's got a lot of notes on it. Right, we can't get into St George's Chapel because it's closed, but according to this sign, Windsor Parish Church is open daily.
Let's go and find the entrance.
Yeah, let's go have a look.
Looks like it's down here.
Cool. Well, we haven't found an open door, and we've walked 3/4 of the way around this church. What I have found on what we are walking on are grave markers. Now, there's a churchyard runs all the way around this church, which has just got the raised markers and tombs in it. So it looks like what's happened is that the grave markers have been moved away to create green space. But what a shame if we can't get in there. Andy's still looking. I didn't even see a handle on any of the doors. Oh, we might have found something. Let's go see. No, not open. But you know what? No matter, because we've still got more to see here. We're coming up to what looks like a gateway. Just catch some horses there, because we are at this gateway. Is for the Royal Mews. Whoops. And I think, you see those big doors there?
Stables?
No.
No?
I think that those are where carriages are kept behind those.
Ah, probably.
So, yeah. Let's go and have a look in this little area around here. We've got another statue there, Andy.
Another statue?
Yeah, and a phone box. Community fridge.
Is this going
Do you
to
want to open the box and see what goes in?
Is this going to be coal?
Don't know.
It says private on the thing. Can't open it.
Ah.
Private.
And then looks like some kind of a well here.
Ancient well.
And then here, look. Do you remember when we were in Eton?
No, they won't, because this video will be out first.
Well, this is what we saw in Eton on the wall. A 50p book of stamps. So you put your coin in, and then it'll bring the stamp out there. These were very common at one stage, at one time. And then here, wow, we've got obviously a Queen Elizabeth postbox, but then next to it, George V.
A blue one.
A blue.
Royal blue.
Coronation aerial post.
So let's see who this statue is of then. Someone with a gun in his hand. Dedicated to all Irish guardsmen, past, present and future. Qui separabit. 2011, that's a bit of Latin there, I have no idea what that means.
So I would imagine that it's a memorial, a general memorial.
Yeah, here he is.
So I think one thing that we can do to sort of round off this tour of Windsor is go and have a look at something that was famously on our screens about 6 months ago, and that's the long walk in Windsor Great Park, where the Queen obviously took her final journey back to the castle, to her final resting place in St George's Chapel. So we're going to go and have a look at that, and I'm going to commandeer Andy to do the decent long sweepy filming, because he does it certainly a lot better than me.
Decent long sweepy
Yeah,
film.
decent long sweepy filming. You know, you get the nice sort of what I call the sexy shots. Let's go and have a look at the long walk.
So folks, it's called the long walk because I mean it's
it goes off well
long
into the
walk.
distance.
As you can see,
there's a road that's sort of about halfway. You can see the traffic coming across it, but it goes beyond that.
the long walk goes a long way.
So, and what you're looking at here is you're looking at the area where obviously the Queen cortege came up the long walk, but then later when what are now the Prince and Princess of Wales and Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they came out to greet the crowds in this area here. But yeah, what a huge, great big long walk. Magnificent.
I certainly wouldn't have liked to have walked it behind the funeral cortege, but of course the members of the royal family did that, and more power to them. And of course at the other end of the long walk here you have the gates which the carriage would have passed through,
yeah, into the upper ward.
Yep, and into Windsor Castle, which from here you can get a really good shot of. There you go. How about that?
I think we're going to pretty much wrap this one up now, of a little sort of a tour of some of the bigger features in here in Windsor. Forgot where I was then.
Bigger features? I don't think you're going to get much bigger than Windsor Castle.
The reason I'm a bit lost for words is because I've just had a look on Rightmove at this house for sale.
This is number 7 Park Street, which is the road that leads to the gates of Windsor Great Park and the Long Walk.
It is a 5-bedroomed terraced house. Let me show you the Rightmove listing.
I don't know whether you can see it, but that says £1.7 million.
If you want to sponsor a video or make a donation, I promise you it won't be towards this house. £1.7 million for a property that is literally on the doorstep of Windsor Great Park, Windsor Castle, the royal family. They're in a royal borough. Wow. What do you think?
I think if you've got that kind of money, then, well, I don't even know. We certainly haven't.
Right, okay, so I'm going to wrap this one up now, because we're going to take a steady walk back towards Eton and finish off our Eton video and then head towards our next place. So I hope you've enjoyed this. It's something a little bit different. Not a cemetery, not a church, but something with just as much historical importance to the United Kingdom. So yeah, as to this one, we'll see you on the next one. What do you say, Andy? Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye everyone.